What is your typical day like as an electrician?
Well, it could start out as where you have to go pick up what you need for the day. You know, you assess the job maybe the day prior or a couple days prior. You go in and get all your components that you're going to need, you know, wiring, breakers, whatever's needed for the job. Then, of course, you're starting early. You could be there for 12 hours sometimes. And sometimes it could be 5 hours, where the job could be a snap. But other than that, typical day is that you are running wires. You're running through a conduit, or you're running it and drilling holes so you can get through the beams and running the wire. And then gotta make sure it gets all to where it needs to be to the breaker panel and to where it's going to be the source of either the light or the fixture. Once you have that all done, and once you have the actual power that's connected by PSE&G from the pole, then you start doing your wiring and that's actually live. So now you got a live panel where you're putting wires in. I mean, which is not hard. It's just that you got to make sure you don't touch the wrong piece. You know. But that's easy. I mean, as long as you know what you're doing, your day can go quickly.
All right.
But, you know, you hit your rough spots, and then you just got to amend it.
Right. Okay. What skills and knowledge are essential to this job?
Skills. Well, like I said, you got to go to school to learn it. Or you can become an apprentice to an electrical contractor, which he'll teach you the ropes, and then you can get your own license, which you have to go through the state for, which they'll prove to you saying that you are a licensed contractor to do work in people's homes. Without a license, legally, if you do something to somebody's home and you don't have a license and something happens, you're liable because you did the work, not the person. You know, not the person's work at home that you did the work in. You must have an electrical license. You need to know what's the currents that you're dealing with, you know, the voltage. I mean, you're dealing with 200 amps, 240 amps, then you're going up to higher voltage, like 400 volts. I mean, now you're dealing with some high voltage which can kill you. So you need to know where the current and how the current's going to flow. You need to know all your currents and your wiring and which different wires that you are going to be using. You know, you have underground wire, indoor wiring, outdoor wiring. You need to know all of what you're going to be doing.
What did you study in college, if you went to college, and do you think it helped to prepare you for your current job?
Well, when I went to college, I didn't study for electrical, which is the funny thing. I studied business degree, my business degree. And after that, I wanted to take a trade. So I started working with other contractors to learn different trades. And then it just came down to, say, being an electrician. Other than that, I went for a totally different concept to something totally different.
Is there any educational requirements for an entry-level job in your field?
Now I think it's changed. I mean, you do have to go to a trade school and know the fundamentals. You know, basically your wiring and things like that. You have to be taught before you can actually. Now, like years ago, like I said, you can go and work for somebody. You didn't need to go to a schooling. They would teach you. Now you need to go to a trade school and come to a contractor and need to know what you're doing before they'll even let you do anything. But I mean, you're still called an apprentice where you're going to have somebody over you watching you. That's basically it. I mean, you do need a trade school.
So what are the steps to become an electrician?
Basically, I think I said that in the last one, where you need to go to a trade school, learn the fundamentals. Then after that, some trade schools, they'll recommend you to contractors as an apprentice, which is a good thing. Some don't. Some basically you're thrown to the wind and say, okay, Here's what you're taught. You go to, you go apply for jobs. But you gotta have to know what you're doing. Plain and simple. I mean, there's no other way to say it. It's like you go to your trade school, you learn it, and then you go start looking for work.
To get into specific trade schools, is there any requirements that you have to do for them?
No, the trade schools, no. I mean, you go to a local electrical unions, and they'll even help you get into a trade school, and see if that. How you want to say? They might even help you finance it. I mean, it's not expensive. I mean, I think it's like around 10 grand, I think, to go to a trade school. I mean, even in being in high school, there's trade schools. You got Bergen Tech up in, I think it's Hackensack. They teach carpentry, electrical, HVAC, heating and AC, and that's free. That's through the county. You don't want to go to, say, Rutherford High School, and you say, hey, I want to go to a trade school. They have to transport you there, but it's part of the curriculum through the school, and they'll teach you all that stuff too. And then that's like a bonus if you do go to another schooling after that. They're saying, oh, all right, he already went to a school, so he already learned the fundamentals. Now we're going to teach him more, or maybe, like I said, he can get a job with PSE&G, and PSE&G is where you want to be. That's why as an electrician.
Okay. Are there different levels to becoming an electrician? And if so, is it worth pursuing them?
Well, like I said, then you've got how you want to say it? They call them general contractors who are like, I'm trying to think of the right wording. They oversee the whole job, and then they'll get subcontractors like electrical contractors, but they're guys are the head of it, the whole thing, but they know it all. They know the carpentry, everything, all the whole job, and they'll oversee these subcontractors to make sure. So, of course, as you get further up, if you get to a general contractor, that's even more money, because now you are a guy that oversees a whole job, and then you sublet it out to other. I don't want to say little guys, but little mason guy here, like. Another subcontract, an electrician, and things on that, so forth, like framers, things like that. So if you're in the GC, that's where you want to get to, because then you're in a big corporate company, guaranteed that you're going to get good money. So that's your levels. Is if you start out in your own business, boom. If you can get into another company that's a general contractor, you're overseeing the whole job. And then you're overseeing the subcontractors. You definitely want to get into a general contractor that does all the fields of the construction.
How much math and science do you need to be an electrician?
I won't say anything. Math, you need to know measurements. Science? I don't know. I don't use any science for it. There's never been any science. I mean, you do know, you have to know, you're, like I said, you're current. I mean, but as far as math and science, you just need to know. I'm just trying to think. Hey, just do measurements, and of course, you need to add and subtract, of course. But other than that, nothing really, nothing majorly.
So no algebra?
No, not that I've seen. I've never used it.
I was talking to another electrician over in Lyndhurst, and he was saying that, they make you take an algebra aptitude
they make
test
you
now.
Nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make you take a lot of different things compared to what it was, like I said, 15, 20 years ago.
What about conversion? Like if you're converting one unit of measurement to another unit of measurement?
Yeah, I guess you would need it, but I mean, I'm used to it. So it's pretty much, you know it in your heads after a long time of using it. Or doing it.
Is there anyone else that you suggest someone speak with if they want to become an electrician?
I would say a general contractor, because he'll give you an idea of, or show you on the job of what the work consists of. Either that or another electrician.